to begin with, we need to enable the API. So we're going to go to the settings area in OpenCRM, and if you scroll down to the configuration at the bottom there, you've got the third-party tool settings, and you click to set up the Zapier integration. What we need to do is generate an API key. Click on that. You can see that's generated a key and a passcode. We'll give the key a name, and we're going to hit save. Okay, so now that's done, make sure you put your key and passcode in a safe place. You're going to need that later. So what we're next going to do, we're going to hop over to Zapier. So as you can see, I've already got an account configured. Okay, now that we're in Zapier, let's start to create a Zap. For today's demo, we're going to be using a Google Contact account. So we're going to be creating, first of all, the trigger. We're going to configure a Zap to push new Google contacts into OpenCRM and create them as lead records. The next thing you need to do is to enable Zapier to access your trigger, which in this case is our Google Contact. To add the new account, click on Connect an Account and confirm that you're happy for Zapier to access it. When you're done, hit save and continue. This is going to check our trigger to find a sample record which we're going to push into OpenCRM. Okay, we've got a record there. We can use that as a test. So we're now going to hit continue. And as you can see, that is our trigger now set up. It tells us Zap currently lacks an action. So let's set that up. So click on add a step and select the action. And what we now need to do is we want to sync to OpenCRM. So just put search for OpenCRM. And we can then decide what we want to do. So just to walk you through the options: new activity, new contact, new company, new lead. And you've also got the ability to create a new opportunity. For today's session, we're going to create a new lead record in OpenCRM based on that contact that gets added into Google. So we'll save and continue that. Next thing we need to do is to connect an OpenCRM account. So if you recall, we configured the API in OpenCRM, so we now need to match the two accounts up. So click on Connect an Account. On this pop-up screen, you need to enter 3 pieces of information. Start by entering the name of your system. And this is where you need to retrieve that information from OpenCRM. So we're going to drop in the API information that we've got stored in OpenCRM. And you'll now see in Zapier we've got an account configured, an OpenCRM system. Just click on test to make sure that's working. And we can now hit save and continue. So the next thing that we need to do is a bit like when you're importing data into OpenCRM, we need to map the fields from Google into OpenCRM. So we're going to select the fields that we need to use, such as, for example, the first name field, last name, email address, telephone number, company name, and so on. Map all the fields that you want to use, and when you're finished with that configuration, hit the continue button. If you have any mandatory fields in OpenCRM and you haven't got them mapped within this screen, the continue button will be inactive, so you need to go back in and map all your mandatory fields. Once that's done, hit continue, and it's going to check for a test record. You can see this is the record that we saw when we were setting up the trigger, and we're now going to send that test record to OpenCRM. And you can see we've now got a confirmation screen telling us that that lead has now been sent into OpenCRM. So if we now hop back over to OpenCRM and we'll have a look in the leads module, we should now see that new record has been created. This has come through via Zapier from Google into our OpenCRM system, populated all the details that we selected to map when we configured the Zap. Okay, that's great. We've confirmed that the integration is up and running, so we now need to finish and publish our Zap. So if we hop back over to Zapier, give the Zap a name, and hit finish, and we need to switch it on. And that's it. As you can see, the Zap is enabled, it's working, and it will check your Google account every 15 minutes to see if there are new or updated records in the system so that it can push them across to OpenCRM.